Gamesir G7Pro is probably the most anticipated and hyped controller out of all that I remember. Its release was postponed several times, but it's finally here. Some people even say this is the best controller ever, and today I'm gonna figure out whether it's true or not. And not only that, but on my desk I have the first true wireless Pro controller for Xbox from Gamesir, G7Pro WUCHANG edition. And TLDR, it's freaking amazing! And as always, welcome to Digital Tech. This controller was sent to me for review, but the opinions in this review are entirely my own. I haven't been paid to say or not to say anything, and Gamesir doesn't have an early preview, and they will see this review at the same time as you will. And first of all, let's look at the box. It says G7Pro Wireless WUCHANG Folding Feathers, designed for Xbox. It's a wireless controller for Xbox, PC and mobile. More on that later. It includes Xbox Game Pass 1 month Ultimate, and there is much more behind, but more on this in this review. Let's see what's in the box. This is the charging station, made in color of the controller itself. Here you can store the dongle. Here's the dongle itself, it's quite small, I like it. You also have 2 extra sets of D-pads, and the controller itself comes with the protective rings for joysticks. And yes, I used this controller before, so this is why this thing is not included. Usually when you open the controller, it will be on top, like this. Also in the box you can find this 3-meter long USB-C to USB-A cable, which is made in the color of the controller itself. And also in WUCHANG edition you have this. And as usual, paperwork, which includes Game Pass, sticker, 1 month Xbox Game Pass Ultimate, which I'm gonna give away in this video. In order to participate, you just need to be subscribed to my channel and leave the comment with the word WUCHANG under this video. More information I'll put in the description. I'm not gonna repeat this joke, but if you know, you know. It weighs 267 grams and 384 grams with the charging station. The price of wireless G7 Pro is $100, but if you don't have an Xbox, you can simply buy the usual version for $80. They are absolutely the same when you use it on PC. The only difference is the design, which I like a lot. In terms of materials, G7 Pro is made of plastic. It has rubberized grips on the back and plastic grips in front. It feels premium, sturdy and heavy enough. No sign of squeaking and rattling noticed. This is probably the best looking WUCHANG edition controller of them all. Blue and golden colors are so good together, and it's kinda teal on the backside. Oh, also there's a new sticker. I haven't had this one on the white version, by the way. So this is not just simply a paint, you can feel every single feather on the grip. They even protrude a bit from the body of the controller. Also, as you can see, triggers and extra top buttons are not see-through anymore. And it's a letdown for me personally, because I love those see-through triggers and extra top buttons. Also, ABXY buttons has different appearance. They look like they were made with the stroke of the brush. And another important note, it's a little smaller than the usual Xbox controller, but not by much. It has exactly the same size as a G7 SE and G7 HE. Here's G7 SE for comparison. Also, you can take out the front grips and the faceplate. And on the WUCHANG version, it has teal tinted see-through plastic. That's just beautiful. Also, you can remove stick caps, but keep in mind for the first time it's very difficult to do. Oh, I'm lucky, I got it from the first time. I am lucky twice in a row. I'm gonna go buy a lottery ticket or something. You can remove stick caps as well. And some people under my previous video on G7 Pro, which you can watch right here, asked what if you take out the stick cap but you cannot take out this one. For that you can use prying tool. If you don't have this, you can use the usual credit card. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna put the prying tool right here, but at the same time you need to push it with your finger to another direction. Just like this. And also you can use G7 SE and HE stick caps. And if you change this D-pad to a 4-way D-pad, you can even use faceplate from G7 series. They are fully compatible, but only from G7 SE and HE to G7 Pro, not the backwards, because they have extra magnets in different positions. Let's also swap G7 HE black faceplate and sticks and see how it will look. This one looks okay in my opinion because it's black and golden. but still nothing close to the original. By the way, this is my favorite D-pad by far. Let me know which one you prefer in the comments. The battery is 1200 mAh and Gamesir says it will last up to 18 hours. I myself get around 12 to 15 hours usually, but it's gonna be on the charging station all the time anyway, so you will probably never run out of battery. Gamesir G7 Pro has magRes TMR modules, and after using it for more than a month now, including the time I spent with the white version, I should say these are one of the best, if not the best joysticks I've ever used in FPS games, such as Call of Duty, Fortnite and Destiny 2. They are very linear and responsive, not too loose or too stiff, just the right amount of tension. Gamesir nailed it perfectly in my opinion. For reference, these joysticks are stiffer than DualSense or Xbox Series controller by a bit, and they are more loose than capacitive joysticks on Mobapad Huben 2 for example. They are even just a bit more loose than Cyclone 2, but it's almost exactly the same. Also, stick caps have metal rings around them. These buttons are just super good. Face buttons are optical micro switch buttons, they are super smooth and tactile, and they don't rub against the faceplate when you press them. D-pad on G7 Pro uses mechanical micro switches, and at first I really liked this D-pad, but after using it for a long time, I should say not everyone will like this D-pad. These micro switches may be too easy to actuate for some people, and when you press the D-pad sometimes you don't even feel it. Let me get it this way, it feels somewhat between tactile buttons and touchscreen. Yeah, I know it sounds weird, but this is the best analogy I can come up with. It's good for some games, it's even great for others. At the end of the day, this is more of a preference. I prefer more tactile D-pads usually when you feel exactly when you press the button. And don't get me wrong, I don't have problems with this D-pad at all. I played tons of games and didn't have a single problem. I'm just saying some people may not like it, but some people are gonna love it 100%. For extra face buttons you have menu button, view button, screenshot button and function button, which is M. Also you have Xbox button here because it's an Xbox license controller and it's actually made primarily for Xbox, and let's turn it on. For bumpers on G7 Pro uses tactile switches. They are not loud at all, have a good amount of tactile feedback when you press them, so you feel clearly whether you press the button or not, and also you can press it easily in any position on the bumper. In short, great bumpers. Triggers on G7 Pro are Hall effect. They are well dampened so you don't hear plastic hitting plastic sound. They are smooth as hell and have perfect amount of tension in my opinion. So when you play your game your fingers won't get tired, and also they are not too easy to press. G7 Pro also have trigger stops. These are micro switches, and I should say they are even better than on Cyclone 2. There are 2 extra buttons on the back and 2 extra buttons on the top. These 2 buttons are tactile and the top buttons use micro switch buttons. They are very easy to press. For some people maybe too easy to press because when you press them they feel exactly the same as a D-pad. But in my opinion these 2 buttons on top don't have to be very tactile. So these are just fine. And the position on them is just perfect for me. So when you hold your controller as usual, your middle fingers will lie on the back buttons and your index fingers will lie on the triggers, and you can easily press all of them at the same time. In terms of placement, extra buttons are just great. And in terms of feel, I like these buttons a lot. Regarding vibration, it has 2 vibration motors in handles and 2 vibration motors in the triggers, and you can set them however you like in the app. For connectivity options, you can use it wireless on Xbox using 2.5 GHz dongle, and you can also put the dongle in the charging station and connect it that way, so it's exactly the same as the PC. For PC you can use it wired, wireless with 2.5 GHz dongle, or via Bluetooth. Also you can use it via Bluetooth on Android. I've tested it on macOS and it only works wired and only in D input. Bluetooth connects the controller, but it doesn't work. For iOS it connects via Bluetooth as well and it doesn't work at all. As I've said in my previous review, there is no turbo on back buttons, but this is an Xbox licensed controller, so it's understandable. Also you can lock back buttons if you don't need them, and on the back of the controller you have 2.5 GHz dongle mode. The middle position is for wired connection and this is for Bluetooth. You also have 4 pogo pins to connect it to the charging station, and on the bottom you have a microphone mute button. If you press it, it becomes red, and this button is for Bluetooth pairing mode. Also when you use headphones you can hold M button and these 4 directions will have extra functions. Up and down is for volume, so volume up and volume down. and left and right is to make the game louder or the voice chat louder. I've also tested headphones latency with G7 Pro being wired and wireless. I use Sennheiser HD6XX by the way. These headphones have very high impedance of 300 ohms. And if you want to use headphones for this controller, try to buy something higher than 32 ohms. Because if you use something with lower impedance, you may hear a noise. Because this jack is quite powerful. And G7 Pro was able to be loud enough for comfortable usage in games. I've put the microphone into the headphone ear cup so you can hear the sound coming from HD6XX. When G7 Pro is wired, there is no delay at all. Sound immediately reflects what's happening on the screen. However, when you use it wireless, there is noticeable delay. It's good enough to play single player games, but it's too much of a delay for competitive games in my opinion. I'm not sure about the sound delay on Xbox because I simply don't have it. If anyone is able to test it in the future, please let everyone know in the comments. Regarding the gyro, I still don't like gyro on any controller. It's just not my cup of tea, but I tested it anyway. I tried emulating mouse and right joystick. Mouse emulation felt terrible for me. Right joystick was better, but still completely unplayable for me personally. The only gyro I remember being even a bit playable for me was on Blitz 2, but I still didn't enjoy it. I'm sorry, but if you want to know how gyro performs on G7 Pro, I'm just the wrong person for this question. And I don't want to pretend or lie that I like it or understand it. Honesty is above all for me. For changing all the settings in one place, you need to use Gamesir Nexus 2.0 app, which is available for PC and Xbox. On the main page, you can set the polling rate to 250, 500 or 1000 Hz, and keep in mind that native trigger vibration only works on 250 and 500 Hz. On the button menu, you can remap any button on the controller to whatever you want, including shift layer. It's when you press the button and all other buttons can have extra layer of buttons. It's a great feature which virtually makes you have two controllers in one at the same time. Also, you can remap buttons from the controller, keyboard and even mouse. Continuous trigger lets you press the button once and will hold it until you press it again. In stick menu, you can adjust joystick dead zones and anti-dead zones, set custom curves. Also, you can set joysticks to circle or roam mode. In motion menu, you can adjust the gyro settings. In triggers menu, you can adjust triggers dead zones and anti-dead zones and set custom curves. And the vibration menu lets you adjust the vibration, obviously. In the top right corner, you can check for software updates, and very important setting which can change the behavior of the charging station when you put the controller on it. Overall, Gamesir has one of the best and good looking app on the market. Let's move to the tests, starting with polling rate. 1000 Hz with 99.3 stability. Excellent. Stick analyzer shows crazy numbers. 14,351 data points, by far the highest results I've ever had in my tests. Resolution is indeed 4000, test shows 3263. It's up to 4000 but never 4000, it's normal. D-pad behaves extremely good, no false inputs, diagonals are easy to hit, with 0 dead zones joystick have snapback, but if you set the joystick dead zone to at least 2 and higher, it's gone. Circularity shows perfect 0% error. Next up, aim labs. On my first try, I got almost 35k points. Decided to check the firmware update and check for dead zones just in case. And on my second try, I got almost 37k. Third try gave me 38.5k points. This is very close to my personal record. And it's very consistent as well. So much so that I decided to do 3 more attempts. 37k, 37k and 37k. Consistent is the word I'm looking for. When I went to Fortnite, and as I said before, G7 Pro is now one of my favorite controllers for FPS games. The second one is Blitz 2, by the way. Comparison video coming later. Let me know in the comments if you are interested. Call of Duty is exactly the same. So satisfying to flick shots with a sniper rifle.
Enemy on foot. Fucking sniper. Incoming Semtex.
During Street Fighter V test, I didn't have a single false input. This D-pad is phenomenal, even though some people may not like it anyway. I'm not in love with it as well just for tactile feeling, but I have to say it's flawless in terms of execution. Wreckfest was great playing on G7 Pro, nothing new, and another good test for D-pad is Street of Rage Remake 5.2, because you need to press double forward for some special moves and running, and also you need to react pretty fast, and it was very pleasant experience with the G7 Pro. At the end of the day, joysticks are amazing, D-pad is phenomenal, but may not be for everyone. Conclusion time! I should say for $100, this is simply the best controller for Xbox that money can buy right now. Don't even think about the Elite 2. That controller is simply trash internally. The sticks are one of the best. This is just one of the 2 controllers that are now available on the market, which can be used wireless on Xbox. The second one is 8-bit Duo Rare Edition. It has extremely good face buttons. It has great D-pad, but some people may not like it. The design is just stunning. Amazing bumpers, triggers, micro switches feel good, back buttons, top buttons, all great. It also has rubberized grips on the back, and even the headphone jack, it's simply great in all aspects. As for myself, this is my go-to controller when I am playing FPS games, because these sticks are simply amazing. You have extra accessories, 2 extra D-pads, great quality cable, and Xbox Game Pass 1 month for free. And let's not forget about the charging dock. All of these for $100, man, Gamesir is cooking. And if you don't have an Xbox or don't care about wireless, you can even buy all of these for only $80 if you buy white or shadow amber version. By the way, they are now finally restocking on Amazon, and I'll put the link in the description for you. Oh, I almost forgot. For G7 Pro, use PlayStation control freaks. Should you buy G7 Pro, it's completely up to you, but if it were for me, it's 100% worth buying. And very soon I'm gonna make the comparison between G7 Pro, G7 SE and G7 HE, so if you don't want to miss that video, subscribe to my channel, leave a comment if you have some of these controllers. In the future I'm planning to compare these 2 bad boys, so if you want that video, let me know in the comments down below. If you want to watch my video comparison between G7 Pro and Vader 4 Pro and G7 Pro and Cyclone 2, those 2 videos are now on the screen. Adios.